Hi there, welcome to Homekeepers. Come right on in, my friend. Got a chair for you right here. Wish you could come in. We could just sit and talk a while, but this is the best we can do. And we are so thankful when you tune in to Homekeepers. Every morning I read a lot of your emails, and some of you write little notes. One lady even sent me a Mother's Day card. I mean, we've got a good thing going here, and we so appreciate your input and the fact that you are with us in, I think, a very, very important endeavor, and that is to remind America and beyond that there's nothing more important than homekeeping. And I think that you can read that in the paper every day and know that once we could get our homes solid, father in order, mother in order, taking care of the children and all, what a different world it would be. So thanks for your support in that. And I have a return guest today. Her name is Denise Shick. She has a brand new book out called It Is Well With My Soul. I'm going to have her tell you her story. Some of you have heard it before, but I want her to briefly tell it before we get into this book. Denise, her father decided he wanted to be a girl, and he went through the process to become a woman. And he confided this in Denise when she was 9 years old. Unbelievable story. I think it's bizarre, really. But there's nothing bizarre about Denise. She is an illustration of the grace of God. And if you have not met her, I'm anxious for you to meet this beautiful, beautiful woman who is in a ministry that probably was not of her choosing, but she's more than qualified to be in it. And then I'm going to join Stephanie. We're making Parmesan garlic roasted potatoes. If you could come in this studio now, boy, it smells like a lot of garlic. But one of our camera people has already tasted these potatoes and said they're great. Before I join her, though, it's been months and months since we were able to offer you a turquoise cross bracelet. We ran out of them, and there were no more available. Now I found another source where we can get them. So all of you who've been wanting one, we have them now. They're available for that gift of $20 to the program. And the information's on your screen. You can order it with your credit card. That's 1-800-229-0059. Or write to us. We love getting your sweet notes and cards and so forth. It means so much to us. And our address is Homekeepers Box 6922, Clearwater, Florida 33758. And there's the information right there. And how are you today?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
You really look good. I've often said that is the camera's favorite color.
Yeah, yeah. Herman Bailey walked in. He said, "You must be doing a show today." I'm like, "Why? Because I look decent? What? You know?"
That's
How do I look every other day?
Yeah. I want to put something up for you. If you want to really interact with Stephanie on Facebook, let's put that up. She's got a thing going, a lot of demonstrating and things you can order. And the information's on the screen, and that's the type of thing that I understand is so simple.
So simple. So simple. I looked for a part-time job forever that was conducive to my life, a full-time job in her, and I couldn't find anything. And then Chalk Couture came along, and I was like, I need to try it because it's right in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, and it's on Facebook.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So a lot of you are on with her anyway, but I wanted people to know that because what do you call that? I have something very similar in my house. Deanna Naylor she's been on the show a lot. It's a little thing, and that looks like that kind of script, but it just says, the best is yet to come. I put it right over my sink, and I believe in messages around your house.
Yes.
I've got the 23rd Psalm on one, and they encourage you. They really do. So this is something, if you haven't gotten into it, I think you would enjoy it.
Yeah.
All right, what are we doing?
Parmesan garlic roasted potatoes. This is what this is you take something simple and you just kick it up a notch. So you kick up your meal a little bit. So we have potatoes.
And potatoes, you can do that.
We have 2 tablespoons of olive oil.
I was describing potatoes a while ago as a canvas.
Yeah,
because they're
a blank canvas.
Yeah, and they're pretty bland. They don't have much flavor.
And I love potatoes,
And
and
you
they
could-
love me. No.
And I wonder how many French fries are consumed in this nation.
Gosh, I can't even imagine. So that's garlic. That's fresh garlic.
That's what I'm smelling here.
And this is a half a teaspoon of oregano. So it's just kicking it up. We have a third of a cup of Parmesan cheese. And then, you know, and
I'd
that's,
probably throw a little more cheese on it. but-
yeah, that would probably be a good idea. You can never have enough cheese. You mix this all up. Let's do a little salt, a little pepper. Ooh, stuck.
Got a little stuck together there.
Pepper.
Yeah.
You make it's just so. I mean, it's just so simple. It's crazy. Do you want to spray the pan for me real quick?
Yes, and I would really mix that up. Spend a little time.
Ma'am.
Spend a little time.
Yes, because
Yeah.
you want all that goodness to be on every potato. What are
Oh,
you
I forgot.
doing?
She always orders me to the sink. And we have a reason for that, because our beloved Wanda last year or the year before sprayed not over the sink. She slipped and fell and was out.
Your floor will get slippery. And
10
she
weeks.
slipped.
She busted her knee.
She hurt herself badly. So spray over your sink. Do not. Safety first, people. Safety first.
Every little drop there.
Every little drop of oil. So you mixed it up really good. I
Really
put
good.
it on a sprayed
This is hard.
aluminum foiled pan. Do yourself a favor.
Do you think our viewers could do this?
Oh
This
my
is so
gosh.
hard.
And it smells so good. Olive oil and garlic.
This one's still real warm.
Look at that. And then you just bake it for, 35. These are big chunks, so 40 minutes at 350.
I've mentioned on this show
400,
so many
400.
times that when you have a side dish that's a little bit different, that's what they're going to remember.
Yeah,
when
and
they
then
come
you
to your
just
house.
take some you can do fresh parsley, or we have parsley flakes because you couldn't find it, right?
Yeah,
Put
let's,
that on top after it's baked.
let's see.
You're just kicking it up a notch is what you're doing.
And, depending on what your likes are, you probably vary it a little bit.
Oh, sure, different cheeses.
Well, I'm going to take that little one.
Oh, you got that? The crunchy one.
Oh, boy.
Super simple, but
That
super
really
tasty.
gives it a real kick, because potatoes have no flavor. But that is really, what would you give it?
An 8.
Oh, I
It
give
needs
it a
more
10.
seasoning.
Oh. Well, Susan tasted one, and she said it needed a little more salt.
Yep, I concur.
So, anyway, if you want this recipe, the information's coming up on your screen. Take note of that. And right after that, if you haven't met Denise Shick, a wonderful speaker and author, you're going to love her, I promise you. Stay with us.
If you would like a copy of today's recipe, you may receive it by contacting us through social media as listed on the screen. When requesting a copy through the mail, be sure to include a self-addressed stamped envelope. Thank you, and please know we always appreciate hearing from our viewers.
Well, I am so glad to have Denise back. The last time she was with us, she had a migraine to end all migraines, I think. And I don't know how you got through the show, but you did. I could just see that pain in your face. So how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good today.
Good. We're going to talk about your new book. But before we do, there's always new viewers. Could you give us just a brief telling of your story?
Sure. As you had stated earlier, when I was 9 years old, my father had asked me to come out to sit with him, and it was at that time where he had told me of his secret that he was carrying, and that was that he wanted to become a girl. He wanted to become a woman, and he wanted that acceptance from me as his daughter. What I didn't realize is how that was going to impact my world. You know, as a 9-year-old daughter, I thought, this is Dad and this is me. We're two separate people. But I soon, rallied into understanding for the first time what it was like to grieve the loss of a person that's still alive. So there was a severe, many years of grieving that loss, losing my daddy that day. And what did that mean for me? Where could I find a daddy? You know, so many different trials that had come my way.
That's a form of abuse. Really, really, truly, as a 9-year-old girl. And I think what it shows ultimately is this beautiful, victorious Christian sitting here.
Thank you.
Why were you the oldest child?
I'm the oldest of 5 children.
So that's why he chose you, perhaps.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have chosen a brother, probably.
No, and I've been asked for years, why would your dad tell you this? Why not anybody else? And the only thing that I can think of is that he must have known that I wouldn't tell anybody. You know, that nature that we have as children. I mean, who am I going to tell? If I tell my mother, I thought I'm going to make her sick because she had migraines all the time. If I let Jody's parents know, the next door neighbor, then they're not going to allow Jody to come over to play anymore. You know, so you started to feel like everybody would be rejecting you, or you would be hurting others by letting them know this.
This secret you had, did you give any kind of outward display that something was wrong inside?
No. No, I kept it like with a key hidden underneath, you know, and I couldn't say a word to anybody.
And it was so unusual. There were instances, but it wasn't anything that people discussed or anything at all that was common. Now, your dad, in the end, he did regret it, right? He became
Yeah, it was
Becky or somebody.
Yes, he pursued and lived as the identity under Becky, and it was after about 8 months of cancer in those last months where he had said, it was really in his last weeks, where he had made the comment and said, this did not bring me the satisfaction that I thought that it would, the fulfillment. And so that tells me he was looking for something, and this did not fulfill him.
I'll bet that's across the board,
Yeah.
really. Really, they're expecting, okay, when I am this person, this gender, then I'm really going to be happy. There's a couple things I wanted to bring up because it's the gay community that's really, really pushing what we call transgender, which got to be a relatively new word. And they are targeting children in schools now. I mean, children as kindergarten, first grade, or whatever. The teacher will say, someday you're going to feel like a boy, some days you're going to feel like a girl. They're setting up some confusion right there. I've been hearing stories that there's no more gender-related toys, you know, nothing specifically for girls or boys. And then this morning I read, I believe it's the state of Connecticut, that there was a 100 and a 200-meter dash race school. 2 of the participants were, quote, transgender. These were girls, but these had been boys. They still had a lot of testosterone, I think, because they nailed it. I mean, they just blew everybody out of the water. You can see what it's doing to society.
Yes. Yeah, and being that they were born males, and up until the point that they started taking the hormones or whatever, their muscle mass, I mean, everything's different from my body to my dad's body, the makeup of it.
I saw the pictures. There was nothing similar between those 2 and the other girls. Now, give me the names of your other books that you've written.
We have My Daddy's Secret, When Hope Seems Lost, Transgender Confusion, and Gender Confusion, a faith-based Q&A for families, and now this book.
I really believe the Lord has raised you up because you can approach this subject, which is getting so much press nowadays, from a viewpoint of experience. You really do understand it. So let's get her website up. You can order the book from that point. It Is Well With My Soul is the name of the book. And do you want to describe it to us?
Sure. This particular book was really hard for me to write because it was digging back in. It was taken from where My Daddy's Secret starts my story to kind of where I am today, surviving the transgender storm, as the subtitle gives. You know, people can assume because we look happy, we're going to church, we have families, we have our workplace, or with Denise, she's doing ministry, she's speaking, writing these books, everything must be okay with her, you know, but there was still that, Lord, this lot that I was given, it's still not okay. Something just, I'm not there yet. And being able to understand that I was still in a process of being able to say to the Lord, now I can say to him gladly with my arms open, it is well in my soul. This has been and is a journey, but because of his faithfulness to me, because of his healing touch in my life, and the love that he's given me for people like my dad that struggled or lived with this issue. I mean, it only comes from God, and when you live this, you know it, and you feel the Holy Spirit being the one that's in you, guiding you.
So all through all these other books, you weren't quite there yet.
No, not to say, it would be like I'm looking at other families, your family or somebody else, and thinking, oh, why couldn't I have had that? Why did I have to live through that? Why did my mom have to go through all of that?
What did your mom know?
Well, my mom knew of everything, knew of his struggle before they had gotten married. But back in those days, it was thinking that and I think she was really naive and honestly didn't have an implication on how difficult this was.
Yeah.
So the story of still the difficulties that we face here on earth, because I not only went through this with my dad, but I had a younger child of ours that got very sick, was close to death doors that we learned afterwards, and left her with a disability. And at that specific time, I can remember pleading out to God, because then this is my child. And I'm saying, God, I've done everything. I've continued to be there to lift my mom up, to be the big sister, to guide my family in this difficult time of the transgenderism, not my child. Now it was cutting into my heart, and I just remember being on that ceramic cold floor and just begging him, please help us, and to continue to walk through my journey of then having my mother diagnosed with Alzheimer's and taking care of her, and still questioning God, wait a minute, Dad gave his identity away, which is how I had looked at this. But my mom, to watch her fight for her identity, to fight for those memories, and to see her lose that ability in the end was heart-wrenching.
And after all that, you can say, it is well with me.
Yes.
What a story. You believe that there was something that triggered this desire to change genders? Was there anything in your father's past that you think you could pinpoint?
There were several things that he actually told me even at the age of 9, and that was that he was sexually molested. I knew at the age of 9 that my grandmother was an alcoholic, and I also understood that my dad never felt loved or accepted by his dad. So when he had toppled the news that he'd been sexually molested to me, I'm like, okay, does anybody see this pyramid, of what's really going on? And what he was really running from, and that was all the pain in his life, looking for something that was going to help to soothe or to take him away from it.
And I heard one great preacher say, Satan will tease you with pictures that will never develop. And I think that a lot of people who were hurt, like your dad, at very young ages and all, set up confusion or a myriad of other things that Satan will grab on that and lead you down a very dark, dark path. What kind of groups do you speak to?
I speak with groups. A lot of workshops or presentations are done for pastoral, ministerial meetings to help them to understand, what the families go through, what our loved ones, to understand this issue at heart and how it's impacting the culture, even though we don't like to talk about it. At conferences, those that are just looking sometimes for a testimony. I've gone to churches to give a testimony on faith, on trust in the Lord, and on forgiveness, because that's part of my testimony is that was hard work, forgiving my father for a man that caused so much pain for our family.
Yes, and especially the fact that he targeted you. Are you kind of surprised, the people that come to the workshops, and do they confide in you? Is this more widespread than we know?
I think we're finding that it's becoming more widespread than what we know. And that's because you have somebody like my father that comes out and identifies as transgender, but how many, you've got the parents, you have the siblings, you have the grandparents, there's many more that are affected by this than one loved one. It's that ripple effect where you throw that pebble in the river and you just start to watch the effects of this.
Now, this book, this is your newest book, it deals more with how Christ brings you through these things. You even have chapters on praise, and it seems like no matter what difficulties you have in life, that's where the Lord's going to bring you. That's going to be a final conclusion of knowing Him and really being honestly able to praise Him.
Yes, yeah, and we don't feel like that when we're going through the turmoils here on earth. Sometimes we don't feel like we have the strength to, but as we praise Him, as we seek Him, as we get into the Holy Scriptures that lift us up, and to allow ourselves to come to a place where we can just rest in Him.
Now, you believe that the greatest majority of transgender people have regrets.
Yes.
Do you have any statistics on that, or just?
Well, I think the one stat that we need to look at, what's going on in the schools and everywhere around us, is that you've got a 41% of folks that attempt suicide. And so
41% of the transgender?
Yes, and that is somebody that identifies as being transgender, or somebody that's had sex reassignment surgery. So, everybody that identifies in this manner. Now, when you've got 20% that are successful in the suicide ideation, that's huge. And so I think that alone is regret from the folks that call us at Help for Families, to hear the regrets in their lives and what this has cost them, the consequences of it, relationship-wise, job-wise, just in who they are, and the difficulty that they have to believe that God forgives and that God is there and that God loves them no matter where they are.
Yeah, no matter what.
Yes.
He doesn't change. Everything else changes. I mean, to the point where a man could confide in a 9-year-old daughter, that he wants to be a woman. Everything else can change, but Jesus doesn't.
No, He remains the same.
He loves everybody. He loves everybody else. Cy Rogers once told me, and he had lived in a homosexual lifestyle and decided to have a sex change, and he went to Johns Hopkins this years ago, maybe a couple decades ago. They quit doing it. He never got it. Mm-hmm. Thankfully, he's happily married and a father today. But I think it's interesting that a hospital of that renown, and if I understand it right, said the success rate just wasn't that great.
Yes, and Dr. Paul McHugh, who was the head of that department, said we're wasting valuable time. So to understand that, instead of investing in ways to help them to cope, to get back to the foundation of where these struggles started from. We can put, just as a woman that doesn't feel good about herself and needs all this cosmetic surgery and needs somebody to show her what to wear and everything, you can do all that. But if her heart is hurting, if there's still something inside, it's the heart of the people that we as the church need to realize that there's hurting people out there, and that no matter how much makeup you put on that young woman or how much makeup my dad put on himself, he was still a hurting little boy.
Mm-hmm. Are there any studies on the hormonal changes? I mean, they start shooting up young people, either with estrogen or with testosterone. I wouldn't do that to my body if you held a gun to my head, but are there any studies on it?
Well, some of this is so new that the studies that are needed are not out there yet. Now we know that, for instance, that the testosterone or the hormones that are given to the young people can cause sterility, so they become sterile. And so what does that lead for the future of having children if they come to the conclusion, as my dad did, that this isn't really what I want, this really isn't doing any good? And we know there's other consequences to those drugs as well. So how well informed when we as the schools are promoting something, we're promoting harmful effects on children.
Before we're out of time, you talk about the, this is very much a part of this community, besides a very high rate of suicide. Substance abuse, depression, mutilated bodies and minds, and it's all being promoted like it's something really, really special. Before we go, though, I want to again remind you to get this ultimate book, because as I talked to Denise 2 or 3 times, there's no way I can absorb what she's been through. And I'm telling you, if you could meet her, she's as beautiful as she looks, but she's also a very triumphant Christian. Well balanced, I would say.
Thank you.
How long have you been married to the same man?
I've been married for 38 years this July.
And you have children, and I think that's significant, that your marriage has really sustained, and your man married you knowing all this. that could scare you.
It's God's been very good, and as a parent, I just wanted to be able to prove to myself that I could raise children in a normal, in a healthy home environment.
In your own mind now, where do you place this story? I know you have to keep, reliving it in a sense where you tell it as a testimony.
Yes.
But as you go through your day, does it have any?
No, there's sometimes, like for instance, on my way here at an airport, I seen a man do something specifically, that my dad would say, now you'll know when I'm feeling this way because I will be, doing this, or you'll notice that. And so sometimes I see those little things, and obviously that doesn't mean that those men struggle with that, but those words come echoing back, sure.
Like I say, God doesn't give us amnesia, but we can learn to walk in the Spirit and think on those things that are from above. That's exactly what he tells us to do. Hope a lot of people order this book, because this is kind of the culmination of a one-of-a-kind journey. I don't think anybody else has a story quite like yours. And it doesn't hurt to be equipped to be able to give an answer for this type of thing that's going to be presented in the schools all the time. It's going to be given a very favorable, setting and all. But there's really one book that's absolutely true, and that's the Scripture. It takes us back to Genesis, where he created male and female. He made them. And this is the plan of Satan, is to destroy what God created in the very beginning. So thank you, Denise. You're always welcome here.
Thank you.
I want you to know that. So please join me next time, and remember, there's absolutely no higher calling than that of a homekeeper. God bless you.
If you should miss a Homekeepers program, you can catch up by going to www.ctnonline.com. Click on CTN Programs and then on Homekeepers.